Hey guys, what's up? So today I have a longer video for you today. It's like almost 30 minutes long. But seriously, if you want to learn the more intricate parts of doubles, especially if you're like not a high level tournament player, national level, college level doubles player, you're gonna want to watch all of it because some of the things that I point out, they look like it's like a normal point, like why they just like missed or they just got to a certain spot, put it away. But if you actually listen and kind of look at what I'm saying, you're gonna learn a lot of very small details that have a really big effect on your doubles game. And when you watch higher level doubles and pro doubles, you'll start to see why certain things happen. And these things can all be incorporated into any level of doubles as well, because a lot of stuff that I'm talking about is positional, which positionally you don't have to have, like, positionally is literally just being in the right place at the right time. You can learn that and be way ahead of the curve, even if you don't have certain shots or don't have certain skills or speed, right? So watch until the end if you guys can, and I hope you learn a lot. Alright guys, what's up? So today I have a pretty special treat for you. I managed to find this match of our number one doubles team back from when I was in college, and they are playing against Vanguard University's number one doubles team, where the guy that you guys don't see in the corner that's about to return, he was actually ranked like 500 in the world or something, and played like Swiss Davis Cup, like friends with Federer and everything. Crazy, right? So this is a duel match between our teams, and I want to go through the first three games. It's only going to be the first three because we're going to break it down, and I want to point out a lot of things. A lot of things that have to do with doubles at the highest level. So you guys really want to pay attention to this, alright? We're going to start with, I think, Warren right here serving, and this is Joe right here. He's transferred over to us from Vanderbilt, which was the top 15 in the nation D1 school. So yeah, we've got some, Warren's the best player in our school's history. So let's get on with it. Okay, so that's first point. We already have a lot to let's talk about the most important thing, in my opinion, besides the fact that Warren made the first serve. Let's look at Joe's progression as he poaches or tries to make his presence felt as Warren serves. Okay, so we're gonna go slow-mo here. Let's go a little faster. Okay, so let's notice Joe's positioning right now, right here. He's in the middle of the service box, basically, okay? So a lot of mistakes that people make playing doubles is that they stand like right next to the doubles alley without any sort of plan. Okay, some higher level doubles teams, they'll do stuff like they'll stand here and they'll move back, or during certain formations, they will stand out here for certain purposes. But a lot of casual doubles, I will see people standing right next to the sideline, single sideline, which makes no sense because you'll take two steps and you're covering stuff that's not even in, right? So stand in the middle of the box. Make your presence at least known. If you want to get the line, come diagonal forward towards the line later, then that's okay. But don't just camp out and let the guy have free space to return on. Now let's watch Joe. Watch his split. He's coming in and he's kind of splitting towards a direction, right? So he split. He's right there. I realize you guys can't see my finger when I'm pointing, but he's here. He split toward the middle. If the guy had hit the ball down the line, right, he still would be able to go to change directions because he hit a split step there. But with his aggressive position, because he knew Warren got it somewhat to this side, he is going to now try to take that ball. Like, the guy hits a really good return early, so he doesn't get it. But look at all the space he's taking. 2 steps to this side, he's like basically taking here and here. He's taking a lot of space. So you see Warren ends up getting that ball way out here. But if that ball had been anywhere basically in this, like, this 2/3 of the court, Joe would probably have gotten it. Second thing, this 1 point, there's already so many good things in this in this point to learn from, right? So we have a 2 up and 1 back formation. So if we go back, you'll notice the guy is hitting a ground stroke, obviously, from somewhat the baseline, but look at the direction Warren's going and look at the way Joe is shifting. Now that they are in a 2 up position, Joe is going to cover the line, and the person that's cross court, okay, from the baseline hitter is going to cover center. And they get perfectly into that position right here. So see, now there are 0 holes, right? Because if Joe is in the front and Warren's in the back, Joe will want to try to take control of middle and poach. But now that they're both up, they're both volleying, and they're both in a position of offense. So Joe doesn't need to take this risk anymore. Warren's going to cover the whole middle because it's impossible to hit the ball cross court by someone this close to the net. And Joe's going to just take anything that's down the line or in his space, basically. So look at the formation. You watch pros play. This is the 2 up formation has got to be like this to cover the most holes. So cross court will be center, will be closing center, and whoever's down the line will get that. Okay, let's keep going. That was not a very good volley by Warren. And this guy, I mean, he tried to play a little bit cute, but let's move on. That was a lot to get from 1 point. Again, Joe split right there and taking over, right? Let's watch his footwork progression. How do I go back faster? Alright, so ball's coming, and he just takes a simple step forward, but look how close he is to the net. So he takes a step forward, his momentum is forward. So when he's able to launch off the split, his momentum will be in an offensive, like at an offensive balance. Okay, you don't want to just stand there, be static, and then when the ball comes, you have to restart all your momentum to come forward and get the ball. So many people, even good juniors, make this mistake off of their partner's serve, and it costs them because they can't hit the ball. They can't get forward as well to take away that short ball. And then, bam, right there. Okay. Again, that's... Okay, so this guy read the wide serve, and he took it very early, which is something that he's leaning in, and he's hitting down on this ball. When you're in an offensive position like that on the return, you don't really have to aim super well because you're hitting down, right? And even though Joe's in a good position here, the guy just rips it, and Joe did a good job handling that volley. But now Warren and Joe are kind of in trouble because they're getting hit down on and they're reacting. But the positioning is still good for all players. Right here, this guy should have been right in the middle. So general rule of thumb is if it passes the net guy, if it passes him and his partner's hitting, he should be back. But in this case, because he knows his partner is probably going to crush the ball, he can kind of stay up. in order to put pressure on the two guys on the other side. But actually, because his partner was going to crush the ball, he should have just gone middle, because then they have to defend, and there's a huge threat right in the middle where it's the easiest to get the ball in. So yeah, he should have done that. See where he is? Like, why is he here? I don't even know why he's here. And I mean, Joe and Warren kind of got away with that point because he missed, but like, there's nobody to capitalize on this next ball. Anyway, let's keep going. All right, again, he's gonna make the. Let's go back one sec. In doubles at a higher level, if you go back, see how far back he is, and you let the kick serve bounce and then you try to hit it, first of all, that's just a really hard shot to hit. Second of all, the net guy has a million years to watch your ball come by, no matter how hard you hit it. So higher level doubles, if the guy hits a kick, you've got to be on it. Not the easiest thing to do, but that's just, you'll see later in the video what I'm talking about. Like, there's just no way he could have hit that way wider and Joe still would have gotten it because there was so much time. Okay, so at first glance, this point, when he's it kind of seems like just a unforced error by his partner, but if we look closer, this is actually really a lot harder to time than people think, especially because this is also a video and the ball is like a lot slower than in real life. But watch Warren's return position. He's literally already standing on the baseline, which is already pretty forward for a return. But look where he is on this return, way in, right? And because he takes this so early, the guy's kind of just caught off guard by his, like, he doesn't split in time, and he's still kind of trying to get into his position. Okay. And also, you notice that this guy right here, he did the exact thing that I was talking about, which Joe didn't do, which Joe goes forward on the split. He just split right in place. Right? He split right in place right here, so he had no momentum. And this ball should have been a put away. So he had two things working against him. Warren actually took it super early, which it makes it a lot harder to react, even if it goes right to you. So this is kind of a harder ball than it looks like, right? And he had nothing. He had nothing in terms of balance going forward because of his very static split step off his partner's serve. And his positioning is way back versus Joe is right on top of the net to put that away. The opponent lobs, like, the server can always go and hit the overhead. See, look, Joe didn't hit a great shot, right? It wasn't like, I mean, yeah, this guy shouldn't have missed the volley. He's like way too good of a player to miss that volley, but we will look at this more. There's a lot going into these points that a lot of people don't see. First of all, Joe's return position, getting it basically shoulder level in off the guy's kick serve. So even if the result isn't that good, first of all, he's getting early, so the guy has so much less time to come in. So he doesn't even hit a good ball. But the guy still gets it low. He's behind the service line hitting this return because Joe decided to take the ball so early. And his partner is still literally he's only like a step or two behind in front of the service line, and he's really not going to do anything at that point unless it's like a complete floater right to him. And one other thing to notice, which is also very important, and a concept that people just goes right by people. Look at Warren's positioning right here. Okay, off the ball movement can create so many errors. It all comes back to Joe's just decision to take this one early, because I think he knew this was going to be a kick serve. And Warren, even though the other guy was coming in, he knew he was getting it low. And look at, Warren is more forward than the guy's partner is. So this guy volleying up has to make a perfect volley from under the net. From here, he's not getting it down the line past Warren. There's no way. Okay. But yeah, Warren's straddling the center here, and the guy just can't get it by him. Or he can get it by him, but he has to be perfect. And that kind of forces an error, right? So a lot going on if you watch closely. It's not super simple. He just double faulted. Okay, see, Joe decides to take a step back. And now the other guys have a little more time. That was bad luck. I mean, another really good return. Good return, but just got unlucky with that net cord. Let's watch that return one more time. Oh, I skipped. Wait. Yeah, actually, let's talk about this first. Okay, this is going to be a first serve, so maybe he wasn't thinking about holding his ground as much. But he split almost backwards and just turned backwards. You're going to probably lose these points like 90% of the time versus... Like, his backhand return's actually really solid. You'll see that he does adjust later on after he tried this one out. Okay, so here's the return. Like, even Warren's backhand is actually crazy. So I don't know if many people could hit this ball. But yeah, again, the return, to fight off a body serve from a guy that was ranked like 500 and be able to hit this clean. I mean, a little bad luck hitting the net cord, but yeah, if it had not hit the net cord, the guy would have hit a half volley with Joe moving in, right? But it was just bad luck there. Yeah. Okay, let's keep going. Yeah, again, he let the serve kick up, and once a kick serve from a decent player gets going, it's really hard to fight that off. And it's very different than in singles, where you can kind of get height on the ball and you have the whole court to hit to. Because if you hit the ball too high or loopy in doubles, it's just going to get picked off, especially at this level. He does adjust the next point, though. That's what I meant. Too good. Too good of a serve from the former pro. And here, early again. Okay, so, yeah, let's keep going, actually. Yeah, so, I mean, that point, he created a better chance for himself. Way better chance for himself. Like, see, this return wasn't that quality, right? But at least he could get the next ball. And the guy did well. He made Joe hit up from the backhand. Joe hit a good backhand, but the guy hit a volley basically next to the baseline. And at that point, you're not going to win the point most of the time if you're at the baseline and the two guys have a good position at the net. So he tries for a lob, low percentage. But you could see the return position. You could see the return position really affecting how the point is going. Okay. I only edited the time in between the points. I haven't edited out any points in these three games that we're talking about. So you can kind of see the percentages at play here. I mean, the guy kind of served himself out of this situation and hit a nice tough volley. But I think Joe and Warren really did do well in that game to put a lot of pressure. So Joe's serve. Nice. Okay, so that was a tougher point. Let's watch that again. Let's break it down. So the guy opted to not take it as early, but to hit it down and rip a forehand. Joe handled this well. Again, the guy's partner, like, I don't know what he's doing all the way there when his partner just hit like an amazing shot. His partner was not really a doubles player, I can tell, because he shouldn't have had so much space to pick it up. See, the guy's like still, the guy's behind where Warren is. And you see again, cross court from the ball. And Joe's taking care of the middle. And look, the guy hit an amazing angle shot, and Joe is actually right there, right? He could still manage to get that. The ball is not going to be any wider than that. That's probably the best shot the guy possibly could have hit. But he's just right on top of the net. Even off balance, it's really hard to miss that ball. Got a little lucky there, but I mean, they're just solid. Both of them are just solid at the net. So like, even if you're ripping at them, it's hard. And you got to remember, like, the guy's pro. Like, this guy has a real pro ball. So it's tough to see through the video, but it's really heavy, and they're handling it just fine because of positioning, basically. Another serve. Okay, he decides to try to take it early, which is fine. Okay, for those of you that don't know what this is, this is I formation. Sometimes you'll see the server stand like right in the center hash, as close to the center hash as they can. So basically, I formation is just the receiver will signal which way they're gonna go, and then the server signal where the server is gonna hit, and then they'll just try to create some chaos and doubt in the opponent's minds. But you'll see Warren's so he kind of stays toward the middle, right? Because the serve is really well placed at the tee. There's no point in going all the way to the side here, because it's a game of angles. The ball has to cross the net at a certain point, and if it crosses the net all the way here, the ball's not going in. Okay, from the middle, right? Gotta remember where the guy's hitting from. So these little adjustments, instincts, but the more you guys think about it, try to put it into practice, even especially like for you like 4-0 players out there, geometry and positioning where the ball's not that fast. If you guys had good positioning, you will never like be facing balls that are just gonna rip right through you, right? Because the ball quality is just not there. But if you guys had the right positioning, you guys don't even have to hit great shots all the time, and you'll just be winning because the opponent's just gonna be like, wait, they're at every single place we hit, because there's just no holes in your game. And you know, you guys can do positioning without having amazing strokes, amazing like power and crazy spins or whatever, you know. Yeah. Again, look at Joe's positioning, man. He's just right on top of the net. The pressure off of like Warren's serve with Joe's positioning is just so different. This is a point where I was just looking at random points, but I had to bring this one up. Yeah, we need to watch that again. Okay, so Warren's serving. So this guy's return position is good. It's not like as forward, but sometimes, you know, the more forward you go, the more you risk getting jammed or overpaced by the serve. So you kind of have to watch how far you're standing in, right? But this guy, I mean, pretty solid. Doesn't give too much time, and he's up on that ball. He hits a decent shot, but like, you know, Joe's just right on top of the net. He just has to put his racket there essentially, and anything down is going to earn him an easy ball. So here's another thing. This is why I included this random clip, because I went to find a point that really represented this well. After the first volley, look where he is. he doesn't just hit the first volley and then run back to where he was standing before. He hits the volley this way. The whole game is shifting, is going to shift this way now. Okay? So the guy can't just hit any ball back to the middle. Even if it was a little wider down the line, Joe would have gotten it. Like, he just followed it. He just follows it all the way in. After the first poach, he stays there, takes another step towards the middle, and he's just on top of it. All he has to do is hit down. The guy has to hit up. If you're hitting up in tennis and the other guys are hitting down, you're going to lose most of the points unless you get really lucky, right? So yeah, Joe and Warren, very, very accomplished doubles players. I mean, they would have been a top team in any division, to be honest. So I think Warren's trying to go pro this year. I think he just decided, hey, I'm going to try going pro. He's like 28 now. But man, that guy has game, like serious game. Could have played for like any D1 school. UTR of like over 13.5, which is insane. He won like men's open sectionals, like a lot of, man, the guy is talented. And Joe, one of the best positional doubles players that I've ever seen. Volleys are just really textbook, really, really simple. If you want to see like solid, simple volleys, which are the best kind, Joe is your man. And yeah, they won nationals and doubles together. And like, they hardly ever lost. I don't know if they lost this year. But yeah, I hope you guys really learned a lot. I know I just try to cram like a ton of double stuff in here. But maybe I'll make more videos in the future talking about doubles things, like more specifically, and like maybe a little more descriptive for each thing. But I wanted to showcase some of the points of especially more advanced doubles concepts. And I threw in a couple basic ones too, such as like the split step off your partner's off your partner's serve and things like that. So a whole bunch of things to think about here. And these can be applied to basically any level. Okay. So take what you can from it. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace out. Have a good day.